Have you seen those videos popping up online about a massive, groundbreaking discovery beneath the pyramids of Giza? It's been all over social media lately, promising a revelation that changes everything. But like many things on the internet, we need to dig a little deeper. Today, we're going to dissect this claim, explore how it went viral, and learn how to separate fact from fiction in the world of archaeology. Let's get started on this mysterious journey. The discovery and its rapid spread. So, what's the buzz all about? The initial claim revolves around a supposed discovery of 8 cylindrical structures, each a whopping 2 kilometers long, lurking beneath the sands near the Pyramid of Khafre. This alleged finding comes from a research group that used a combination of synthetic aperture radar, SAR, and Doppler tomographic data. Sounds pretty technical, right? The information was initially presented at a couple of press conferences, but here's a crucial point. It hasn't gone through the rigorous process of peer review or formal scientific publication. That means other experts in the field haven't had a chance to scrutinize the methods, data, and conclusions. Now, this is where things get interesting and a little concerning. Social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube exploded with videos about this discovery. These videos often feature dramatic, AI-generated imagery and sensational language. Think phrases like, "changes everything we know about history," or "hidden underground city." The visual component is key here. It's designed to grab your attention and stir up that sense of mystery. This narrative quickly jumped from niche corners of the internet to mainstream attention. It landed on platforms like the Joe Rogan Experience, a podcast with a massive audience, and even got discussed on shows like Piers Morgan. This kind of exposure supercharges the spread of information, regardless of its validity. The initial impact was huge. People were captivated by the scale and mystery of this alleged discovery. But without proper scientific context, it's easy to get swept up in the excitement and accept claims at face value. That's a real problem, and it's something we need to address. If you find this information interesting and want to stay updated on the latest archaeological discoveries, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to us so you won't miss any articles. Let's explore and analyze the mysteries of history together. Unraveling the dubious nature of the claim. Okay, let's put on our skeptical hats and examine why this discovery might not be all it's cracked up to be. There are several red flags that point to serious issues with the claims being made. First, let's talk about the data and methods used. Synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, is a powerful technology, but it has limitations. SAR data collected from satellites orbiting at 680 kilometers above Earth has limited ground penetration capabilities. Claiming it can detect structures 2 kilometers deep under the sand is a huge stretch. Then there's the imagery. Those dramatic visuals you see in the videos, they're mostly AI-generated or artistic interpretations of raw data. These aren't photographs of actual structures. They're more like fan art, based on a very loose interpretation of scientific information. This is a crucial distinction, and it's easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. Perhaps the biggest red flag is the lack of transparency. The data and methodology haven't been published in a peer-reviewed journal. This is a cornerstone of scientific research. Peer review is how scientists hold each other accountable and ensure the rigor of their work. Without it, claims are essentially unchecked. Now, let's look at the researchers involved. One of the key figures, Armando May, is described as a self-taught Egyptologist. While self-learning is admirable, May has a history of promoting conspiracy theories, including the claim that the pyramids are 36,000 years old. This kind of fringe belief doesn't automatically invalidate someone's work. but it does raise questions about their approach to evidence and interpretation. The leader of the research group, Curado Malagana, is also an author of books with controversial content. Again, this isn't a direct indictment, but it adds to the overall picture of a group whose claims should be treated with considerable skepticism. Finally, and perhaps most tellingly, the alleged structures simply don't fit within the broader archaeological context. There's no existing archaeological evidence to support the idea of massive cylindrical structures beneath the Pyramid of Khafre. The alleged structures are said to lie below the water table and within the limestone bedrock, which raises serious questions about their feasibility and purpose. Furthermore, there are no comparable examples of such structures at other pyramid sites or in the wider ancient Egyptian culture. This claim exists in a vacuum, with no supporting evidence from the vast body of knowledge we have about ancient Egypt. Consequences and lessons learned. What are the consequences of this kind of misinformation, and what can we learn from it? There are several important points to consider. First, it exploits public fascination with archaeology. People are genuinely interested in the past, in mysteries, and in the potential for amazing discoveries. This is a good thing, but it makes them vulnerable to manipulation. When unsubstantiated claims grab headlines, it can lead to confusion and even a loss of trust in science and legitimate archaeology. Viewers, especially those without a strong science background, can be easily swayed by sensational claims. It's difficult to sift through complex information and assess the credibility of sources. This is why critical thinking skills and media literacy are so important. But the onus isn't just on the public. This situation highlights the vital role of science communication. We need more skilled communicators who can translate complex research into clear, accessible language for the general public. SAR technology has real potential, but it needs to be validated. Before making sweeping claims about discoveries deep underground, we need to test these methods in areas where known underground features exist. This allows us to calibrate the technology and interpret the data accurately. Ultimately, the researchers themselves bear a responsibility. They should publish their data and methodology in peer-reviewed journals. This is the gold standard of scientific research. Transparency is essential for building trust and advancing knowledge. If the data is truly compelling, it will stand up to scrutiny. If it doesn't, it's important to acknowledge the limitations and refine the methods. Science is a process of trial and error, of questioning and revising. It's not about making sensational claims. It's about building a reliable understanding of the world. Do you believe that misinformation in archaeology can undermine public trust in science? If you agree, please comment yes to engage with us and share your thoughts. Let's spark a meaningful conversation. The allure of conspiracy theories. At their core, conspiracy theories offer deceptively simple answers to life's most complex questions. In a world full of uncertainty, chaos, and rapid change, people often look for patterns, anything that can bring a sense of order or explanation. A conspiracy can neatly tie together unrelated events and explain away confusion, offering a storyline that feels complete, even if it's false. They also appeal to our emotions. Fear, anger, suspicion. These feelings can make us more vulnerable to ideas that confirm our anxieties. Believing that there's a secret being kept from us can spark a sense of rebellion, even empowerment. It feels good to believe we're in the know, part of a smaller, wiser group that sees beyond the lies of mainstream narratives. But there's a darker side. Conspiracy theories can sow distrust in public institutions, from science to journalism, and even democratic systems. They can isolate people from reality, damage relationships, and encourage harmful actions, sometimes with tragic consequences. That's why we should question the information we receive, but also the source, the motive, and the logic behind it. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. In an age of viral misinformation, critical thinking isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. A more scientific approach to archaeological mysteries. So, how should we approach these kinds of dramatic archaeological claims moving forward? What does a more scientific, thoughtful, and constructive approach actually look like when dealing with bold declarations about ancient civilizations or groundbreaking discoveries? The first and most important step is to prioritize peer-reviewed research. This doesn't mean that every idea outside of academic journals is wrong, but it does mean we need to apply a healthy level of skepticism. Peer review ensures that research has been evaluated by other experts in the field, not just one group with a theory to prove. Look for signs of sound methodology, access to raw data, and whether others in the field have been able to replicate or support the findings. Secondly, context is everything in archaeology. Artifacts or structures don't speak for themselves. They must be analyzed alongside existing historical, cultural, and environmental data. A claim that overturns decades or centuries of established knowledge should immediately raise questions. The best discoveries add to what we know, building upon a rich framework, not dismantling it without serious proof. Third, be cautious of sensationalism. Phrases like, "This changes everything," "history rewritten," or "the truth they don't want you to know," are often signs of hype over substance. These kinds of headlines are designed to provoke emotion, not thoughtful inquiry. If a claim comes packaged with flashy visuals, ominous music, or vague sources, that's a good indicator that it's more entertainment than evidence-based scholarship. Lastly, remember that real archaeology takes time. It's not glamorous. It's slow, detailed work carried out by teams of specialists, often over many years. Progress happens incrementally. There are rarely sudden eureka moments. Most genuine breakthroughs emerge after repeated digs, lab tests, historical analysis, and ongoing debate among experts. In short, engaging with archaeological mysteries demands a mindset rooted in patience, evidence, and curiosity, not blind excitement. By valuing credible sources and resisting the pull of sensational narratives, we preserve the integrity of history while remaining open to truly remarkable discoveries when they do come along. If you agree that we should approach archaeological claims with skepticism and a focus on credible research, show your support, hit like, share this with your friends, and subscribe for more insightful discussions on history and archaeology. Let's promote a thoughtful dialogue together. Real archaeological wonders. Rather than getting swept up in sensational or unverified claims, we should take a moment to appreciate the real marvels that archaeology has brought to light. Wonders that are every bit as fascinating and far more meaningful because they are backed by solid evidence and years of expert study. These discoveries don't rely on speculation or viral hype. They stand as enduring testaments to the depth and complexity of human history. Take, for example, the tomb of Tutankhamun. Unearthed in 1922 by Howard Carter, this burial site in Egypt's Valley of the Kings captivated the world. It wasn't just the glittering treasures or the rumors of a curse that made it extraordinary. It was the insight it provided into the religious practices, artistry, and royal customs of ancient Egypt. Every artifact was carefully cataloged, preserved, and studied by teams of experts, allowing us to piece together a clearer image of a civilization that continues to inspire awe. Then there's the Terracotta Army of China. Discovered in 1974 near the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, this army of thousands of life-sized clay soldiers, horses, and chariots had stood hidden for over 2 millennia. Each figure was crafted with unique features, showing a staggering level of detail and craftsmanship. It's a reminder of the power, ambition, and artistic expression of ancient China, an archaeological wonder uncovered not by wild theories, but through methodical excavation. And of course, we can't forget Pompeii, the Roman city frozen in time by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. The volcanic ash that buried the city also preserved it, offering an unprecedented snapshot of daily Roman life. Homes, murals, even graffiti, all preserved in such detail that we can still walk its streets today and feel connected to people who lived nearly 2,000 years ago. These are the kinds of discoveries that truly deserve our wonder. They didn't need clickbait or conspiracy to earn their place in history. Instead, they remind us that the real world holds astonishing secrets, waiting patiently beneath the surface, ready to be revealed not by fantasy, but through curiosity, care, and science. In a world filled with sensational claims, it's essential to prioritize credible research and critical thinking. As we continue to explore the mysteries of our past, what groundbreaking discoveries await us next? If you found this discussion enlightening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of archaeology and history. Join us as we uncover the real wonders that lie beneath X.